Oh, okay. It actually worked because YouTube was being a little screwy. So I apologize for that rough intro, or this rough intro. It's currently happening, not past tense, present tense. Anyway, welcome back. Oh, God, I'm borrowing Shannon's lines, aren't I? Anyway, Western Conference picks. And I thought about this earlier today, and I thought, well, I did my Eastern Conference picks kind of premeditated a little bit. Because I thought about them before I made the video. I was like, oh, it could be fun. Let me do my Western Conference picks in real time on a live stream. So again, I drew up the bracket here. I've not really looked at it or thought about it. So we get to watch my brain work in real time. Um, in terms of how I figure these things out. Because the Eastern Conference stuff is just bonkers, but this is probably, well, not as bonkers, but close. Anyway, before we get to that, I'll explain my wardrobe. This is a old burgundy. I know it kind of looks the same color as that. It's not. It's much more burgundy than red. More Colorado Avalanche colors. Maybe I'm tipping you off the picks. And this hat, yeah, this is old school Mighty Ducks hat from the '90s. Um, I do have a 1997 Western Conference Championship Red Wings hat that Yzerman signed in the parade that year in '97. I don't know where it is. Otherwise, that would be the perfect hat to wear for this. Talking about the Western Conference this year. Anyway, without too much delay, let's get into it here. 'Cause again, I put the bracket together, didn't look at it, didn't think about it, and like, let's do this decision in real time because boy, the Eastern stuff was again, I still can't really judge the um Montreal or not Montreal, sorry. It mixes up a lot. It's probably my original six flavor. Toronto, Boston, like I can't predict that series. I still can't. It's still a coin flip. But this I think the Western Conference is not as bad. But hey, you know what? Be fun. Let's go through this for me in real time. I haven't really looked or thought about the bracket yet. I know the teams, but I've not looked at the matchups per se. I literally wrote them all down. They're on the bracket here. Um, but I didn't dedicate time to thinking about them. I wanted to do that, like I said. It'd be fun to do that in real time on a video. So here we are. All right. So let me get my old Sharpie out here. And let's look at the matchups. Or look at one of the matchups here. First one. Uh, whoops. Yeah, camera. Yay. All right. Whoops. Nope, that's not a thing. Sorry, it's backwards, so it's tricky. Oh, that's not even right either. I wanna. No, I want to look at this one first. Yeah, here we go. Yes, Dallas, Vegas. Let's look at that one first. Boy, that's hard. Of all the honestly of all the matchups, that might be the trickiest one to call. Would be Dallas Vegas. Uh, because again, Vegas has got people like Mark Stone. They're coming off LTIR for the playoffs. Man, this is honestly, I think of all the Western first round matchups, this may be the trickiest one. Is Dallas Vegas. Uh, because that could really go either way. But oh man. You know what? This goes against my first instinct was like, I think Vegas wins. No, I'm gonna go against that instinct. I think Dallas wins that series. So let's just say Dallas over Vegas. In that first round matchup. And then we've got again, I wish I had a whiteboard, just like I wouldn't have to do this easier. Space. I'll get there. Anyway, yes, next one. Winnipeg, Colorado. Also a very good matchup. And I do like Winnipeg as a dark horse, but they're playing Colorado in the first round. I don't think Colorado's not going to lose that matchup. They're one of the best teams in the West, if not the entire league. So yeah, that one's Colorado's to lose. basically. I think we'll see. And yep, next we got Vancouver and Nashville. Boy, that'll be a fun series. And it's really tough to have to pick a winner here because I like both teams a lot. And Vancouver's been looking really good this year as opposed to most previous decades. But honestly, I think I might pick Nashville there for the upset, which I'm gonna do. I think Nashville wins that series. Might be 6, 7 games, could be close, could be a blowout. Who knows? I'm gonna pick Nashville in that one. Sorry, Vancouver fans. I know you're still waiting, but I don't know if these matchups. Again, if it wasn't Nashville in the first round, probably be okay. But uh, I think they can do something. Anyway, final first round matchup here: Edmonton, Los Angeles Kings. Edmonton's winning that series. I'm sorry, it's probably gonna be a sweep. Yeah, that one is the easiest call of all these. Edmonton's winning that series. So moving on from that, we have on this side of the bracket. Whoops, sorry, camera. Oops, there we go. I really need a whiteboard. I'll explain it. You don't need the visual reference. On one side of that, we've got Dallas against Colorado. Colorado's probably going to win that matchup. It could be close. Dallas may challenge. I just don't think they have quite the same depth that Colorado has this year. So I think Colorado wins that one. Maybe in 5 games. Yeah, that I don't. Colorado's winning that matchup. So my O on Colorado is my. Um, anyway, the other side of the bracket, um, Edmonton, Nashville. If that's the matchup based on my calls, hmm, yeah, Edmonton's probably going to win that. And it might be close. Again, that could be another 7 game series. I really don't know at this point. A lot of these teams are very evenly matched because of current parity in the league. But yeah, I'm going to say Edmonton. If only for the reason it gives us a Colorado Edmonton Western Conference final, which, if anyone saw the first Colorado Edmonton game this year, not the last two, because those were late in the season, they were already set in the playoffs. Neither one of them really cared. Not a good matchup. But you saw the first game between the two of those teams. Oh boy. This of all I mean, I know I mentioned yesterday I'm looking forward to like watching the Islanders and Carolina play, even though it's not for everyone. It's for me. On the other flip side of that, if you want a high goal scoring series that's ridiculous, yeah, Colorado Edmonton is gonna be that. And right now looking at it, looking at my current bracket picks, where I've got Colorado and Edmonton in the Western Finals, oh boy, that's a tough pick. It really kind of is. Uh, you know what? Hmm, man, this is again flip a coin. I could be right either way, and the risk could be totally up. But in a 7 game series, this honestly, it's really tough. This is tough to call. Which I know some of us before the end of the season predicted, oh, maybe we'll see Colorado Edmonton in a playoff spot at some point. Very similar teams in terms of how they're built and the way they play. Whew. But yeah, the way the bracket looks at, yeah, that's a Western Conference Finals matchup, probably for sure. Honestly, I'm probably totally wrong on my Eastern picks. Western, Colorado, Edmonton, that seems very likely. Be all surprised if it's not that matchup. No matter how they get there, I think that's going to be the matchup. Especially looking at the bracket, yeah, there could be upsets. I predicted some upsets in the Eastern Conference. There's always upsets somewhere in the playoffs. Just usually not on both sides of the bracket. Usually it's one team makes a ridiculous upset run, which I'm already kind of predicting the Islanders do on the East this year. So I can't really do that in the West with, say, a team like, Winnipeg, which would be great to see them go on a run and win. But yeah, or Dallas for that matter, or even Vancouver or Nashville. Like, again, there's any number of storylines, but looking at this realistically and just trying to guess, considering the upset factor, I still, I still see it being Colorado, Edmonton in the Western Finals. That's of all the playoff races, that is the one I feel the most confident about happening. Is Colorado, Edmonton in the Western Finals this year. But looking at it, man, like just thinking about that matchup in a best of seven series in a third round. Uh, man, it's really hard to say who might win that. I'm gonna go with Edmonton. I think. Yeah, I think maybe based on a little bit of bounces and luck. Not the better team. They're both very evenly matched teams. But if I'm gonna make some bold predictions here for brackets, then I'm gonna say that is Edmonton's spot. So yeah, there we go. Edmonton in the Western Finals, based on my prediction yesterday against the New York Islanders. What year is it? It's not 1984. But it feels close to that, especially and tomorrow. There's no season, and we have a little break. I will go. I want to go over milestones this year. Because we had two very significant ones just happen in the last 2 days, which is that both Kusterov and McDavid hit 100 assists, which puts them in the same category. Literally, the only other three players to ever do that, even once. Gretzky did it multiple times, but yeah, Gretzky, Bobby Orr, Margo Lemieux. That's the end of the list. And then now, Nikita Kucherov and Connor McDavid out of Edmonton. So they're those two boys just joined some very elite company. So I'd be very curious to follow their prospects. And yes, as I did say, my predictions on yesterday in the bracket, I could see Tampa going to the Eastern Conference Finals, but probably losing to the Islanders. Maybe if the Islanders shut them down, maybe. Um, and yeah, I do see. I think yeah, I do think it's going to be no matter what my picks are. If they're wrong, it's still probably going to be Colorado, Edmonton in the Western Conference Finals. They're the two best teams, so that all makes sense. No matter how the bracket falls out, but that's probably the finals. So again, I could do this live because like this is the Western Conference is not nearly as m- messing with your head as the Eastern is looking at it as a hockey fan. I think this is way more clear cut of what we're going to see. I would be shocked if it's not Colorado Edmonton in the final. I'd love to see if I'd be love to be wrong if it's Colorado Nashville and like what? Where'd they come from? That'd be great too. I've still been in Colorado though in that case, but yeah. We'll see. So yes, my current prediction as of the Western Conference bracket from this and yesterday's video, the Eastern bracket, Edmonton and New York Islanders. We're back in the 1980s, kids. Enjoy. Who wins that matchup? No idea. I'm not even going to call that. Should it happen to fall out, I'm right on this playoff bracket pick. Before that series starts, I will call a winner. I'll only do that before the series. Right now, honestly, no idea. Um, I gotta see how both things play through the playoffs, and then I can make a better call of like Edmonton and New York Islanders in a final. Again, what year is it? 1980 something. It, we're having weird flashbacks to that, which feels appropriate since Matthews was a goal away from tying a record we haven't seen since the early 90s. We're kind of maybe getting back to that in the NHL currently. So yeah, Edmonton Islanders. Oh boy, that could be a really fun finals if my calls here are right. We'll see how it plays out. Anyway, I don't want to keep this too long and too rambly. We're already at 15 minutes, more than I needed for this. Um, yeah, I just thought, hey, instead of me doing the bracket beforehand and then talking about it, let me do it in real time, and you can see my weird thought process and how this works and how I guess at things randomly. But I would be very happy to be right or wrong this year on my calls. I would love to see Edmonton and the Islanders in the finals. That would be amazing. Because either one of those teams will win a cup then. Doesn't ma yeah, I'm not gonna if that's the matchup, I'm not gonna call it right now. I have no idea. See how they both perform in the playoffs. If we get there, if I'm right, we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised again if Colorado and or Toronto got there. Like that's why that Boston Toronto matchup still kind of just breaks my brain at the Eastern Conference because that could go either way, and either one of those teams could go on a run potentially. So yeah, it's that one's way I think trickier. Looking at like the West seems like yeah, it's yes. Could Winnipeg beat Colorado? Maybe once, twice in a lifetime. It could happen. That could be the big upset in terms of the brackets. Well, actually, no. The bigger upset would be LA beating Edmonton. 'Cause I don't see that happening. Edmonton has way too much talent. They're not going to lose that first round matchup. And again, Dallas Vegas is also almost a coin toss. Like, who's going to win that series? Yeah, I think I called Dallas just to pick one. Um, because Vegas has definitely been struggling the last couple of months they've been playing. They're getting good players back, like Mark Stone's going to get back to the playoffs. Their roster's going to get better, but I don't know. Dallas is playing really well coming into the playoffs, so I favor them in that matchup personally over Vegas. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. I could keep ranting about hockey because I can do that all day, every day. That's why I try and do these daily. They won't always be about hockey. Once the actual final set behind me is built, you'll see like, oh yeah, I care about more than hockey. I'm going to talk about all types of random things. Hockey's just one of them. We're wrapping the regular season up now, going into the playoffs. So I'm gonna be talking about playoffs for the next 2 months because playoffs. Talking about playoffs? Yeah, I'm talking about playoffs. Playoffs. Anyway, um, thank you all if you watched to this point. Got to the end of it. Hey, congrats! You get a ribbon somewhere. Email me, I'll send you a thing. Um, otherwise, hey, peace. I'll see you tomorrow.